video games that are too old for them, maybe not appropriate, and so that's one of the reasons why we edit how long or control how long that they watch them. But did you know, because of the high advanced graphics on these games, when the kids are focused on the game for an extended period of time, it does something to their eyes, and it does something to what they expect to see. So when they turn around and they see these high intense graphics of all the colors, everything's going on, lots of movement, lots of stuff keeping them interested, and then all of a sudden the game stops and they turn around to the regular, well, let's say sort of boring compared to that life, there's an adjustment period, and it makes them not feel well. It makes them not adjust properly. It screws things up a little bit. So just another reason to take heed to what it is you're exposing your kids to. So in this world that we live in with so much technology, it's so good when you can bring out those old board games. You can bring out good things that encourage them to think, encourage them to problem solve on their own. Another problem with technology, and, there's pros to technology. Don't get me wrong, but quite often they solve the problems for you, don't they? It's just too quick. That's why we're not patient. Well, not we, because I came from an era where you had to be patient. You had to be patient. You had to be respectful. If I had $1 for every hour that I sat on a chair opening or holding my mom's purse, not opening, she'd know, holding my mom's purse while she was trying on dresses in a dress shop, I would be a pretty rich person right now. It was a whole different world compared to what people, do with their kids today and the instant gratification. And it's just not a positive thing. We need to rethink this. We need to not give in and, all that other sort of stuff. So just important that we take heed and we go back to some of the basics. It's just too easy to give in, to shut them up. You are not going to win, and when that kid is 14, 15, 16, it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun. And then you're going to throw your hands up in the air and be like, I don't know how this happened. Sorry, I know how this happened. But, it is what it is. I guess you have to learn on your own, but do the research. Read the articles I'm reading. Read the articles that are all over. Professional people who have experience, who are saying, we need to control this stuff and get back to the one-on-one. It's Mental Health Month or whatever. I don't know. I'm getting blasted with these messages about forwarding the Bell Let's Talk thing. I never believe that they're going to give the 5 cents. I'm just letting you know. I don't forward them. I don't believe in that. I think it's better to actually be with people. It's great. Sure, you're going to share a thing on Facebook or whatever, but why don't you start, instead of doing that, smile at every person you see. Let's try that instead. Smile at every person you see. Say hello. Compliment somebody when you see them. Right? I love that shirt. I love your hair today. Wow, that was really nice, that thing that you did. Or thank you for holding the door for me. Or, whatever. Those things go a lot further, in my humble opinion, than spamming a bunch of people with something that's only adding attention to Bell. Just my thoughts. Doesn't mean they're necessarily right, but I hope they make you at least go, and think about, where can we really make a difference? It's like wearing a yellow ribbon. That's great. You want to wear a yellow ribbon? That's awesome. You want to wear a bracelet? That's awesome. But you know what? We can do other things that are just really more proactive, right? That's great. But I don't know. I just don't buy into that, because I just feel that the ribbon guy is the only one getting ahead. The guy that makes the bracelet, he's the one that is winning. Like when you look at all those bracelets, do you look and do you read them all? Do you read them all and say, oh yeah, I do support that. Oh yeah, I'm going to call that person that I know was stressed out the other day because I saw that bracelet. No, probably not. Oh, the world is a funny place. It's funny how we think of things. And I think it's self-satisfying. That, you feel good, you feel like you did something. That's great. But, are you really making a big enough ripple, in the big pond of life that we live in? Just saying, just things to think about. Other things to think about is all the good news that's going on in the world. So let's get to that. This is pretty cool. It's a village in Italy that's looking for new neighbors to join its community. This is really cool. And they're only charging $1.25 per house. On the island of Sardinia, more and more residents have been leaving the tiny town of Ololai. Ololai. I believe that's right. Over the course of the last 50 years, the population has dwindled from 2,250 people to 1,300, according to The Independent. So as a means of preventing the village from turning into a ghost town, the local government is selling the empty houses for $1.25, less than the price of a cappuccino. Unfortunately, there's a catch to the sweet deal. Of course there is. Prospective buyers must agree to renovate their newly bought house within 3 years of purchasing the real estate, which is estimated to cost about $25,000. Considering the village's rich history and thriving cultural spirit, $25,000 for a house on a breathtaking Mediterranean island isn't that bad of a deal. In fact, the village website that originally published the real estate deal has become so inundated with applications, there is now a deadline in place. Since the amount of offers has exceeded the 22 properties currently available in the village, the page will stop accepting applications 1 week from now on February 7th. So get it in today if you want to. After that, applications will be reviewed in the order that they are submitted. So hurry while the getting is good. That is so awesome. Now I'll be sharing that article on the Positive Power Facebook page. Hey, you know what? If you're at a point in your life where you're looking at retiring or something, that is absolutely awesome. Go, retire, put your feet up, enjoy your life. Isn't that what we work hard for? Isn't that what it's supposed to be all about? That is so very cool. Next up, there's a lot of stuff going on with the world and the forests and this and that, and I love these countries that are taking charge. Chile. Chile is greatly expanding protected parkland in its stunning southern Patagonia region under a decree signed Monday that will incorporate reserves owned by a late American philanthropist who founded the North Face label. Oh, that's very interesting. The order signed by President Michelle Bachelet will boost the amount of parks in Chile by more than a third. Chile needs to take this decisive step to protect and preserve our biodiversity, our unique landscapes, the habitat associated with endangered national species, including trees, deer, and fox, Bachelet told reporters in the southern town of Cochrane. The signing was attended by the widow of Douglas Tompkins, the U.S. millionaire founder of North Face, who died in a kayak accident in Chile in December 2015. Tompkins and his wife, Christine McDivitt Tompkins, had dedicated decades to preserving Chile's wilderness and buying vast tracts of land to create parks and reserves. The increased national parks will include 400,000 hectares, nearly 1 million acres, of land the Tompkins had handed over to the government. In all, 4.5 million hectares are being added to Chile's protected zones, with the ancillary aim of them also boosting tourism to the unspoilt reaches of South America. Some 10 million tourists have already visited Patagonia's wilderness over the past 4 years, according to official statistics. The decree was one of the last big flourishes that Bachelet before she leaves office in March, handing over power to Sebastián Pinera, a conservative billionaire who won a December runoff election. That is very cool, right? So there we go. You need to choose what you focus on. And so as much as we see in different sources of media, the fallout of industry, which is bad, right? Where, fracking and tearing down the trees for industry and for money and for greed. Because people or money isn't bad, it's people, greedy people, right? Making bad decisions. But you see other people that are stepping up to the plate and saying, you know what? No, we are preserving this land. We're helping the animals. We need the trees. If we had no trees on this planet, we would not be able to breathe. Breathing's important. Trust me, I know. And then my last story today is very cool. Here we are. We're coming upon Super Bowl Sunday, which is this Sunday. So that's super exciting if you watch sports at all. Where will I be? Sleeping. I'm going to go for sleeping and having a down day. I can't even tell you who's playing, but I'm sure they're great teams and everybody's going to have a great time. And if you're in Sarnia, come out to Bottoms Up in beautiful Point Edward, which is right beside Sarnia. It is, right on the next street. Come on out here, and they're having an awesome Super Bowl party, and they're having a chili competition, or chili contest competition, whatever. Actually, I might pop in for that. That sounds good. So, but this is good. A New Jersey community has raised enough money to send a beloved school bus driver and die-hard Philadelphia Eagles fan to the Super Bowl. Gonna venture a guess that it's the Philadelphia Eagles that are playing? A group of parents and students surprised Gary Kelmer with the present when he pulled up to the last stop on his bus route on Monday in Mount Laurel. Parents Amy and Isaac Smith wanted to raise money as a way to thank Mr. Gary for his daily kindness. They raised more than $5,000 in just a few days on the fundraising site GoFundMe to send Kelmer and his wife to the Super Bowl in Minneapolis. The Smiths purchased tickets, airfare, and personalized jerseys for the couple. A stunned Kelmer on Monday called it a special dream come true and exclaimed, "I'm ecstatic," and so he should be. That's awesome. And can you tell I don't read these in advance? I like to be honest and true when I read them so I can give you an honest reaction, just like I hope you're reacting, as you're listening to it. And then that way too, I just, it's already scripted that I'm reading the article, but I don't want my reaction to be scripted. I don't know. That's just very important to me. But I just want to validate that shows once again, you're good to people and good things will come your way. And you never know what's going on in the background. You never know where those good things are going to come from. So when you're a good person, and whether it's smiling people, giving a good word, helping a neighbor, helping somebody, it doesn't have to be attached to a monetary thing. But when you're generally a good person, people think of you. They remember you. And they will send good stuff your way. And when you're miserable and you're grumpy and you're horrible to people, and then you look around and you go, why am I lonely? Or you look around and say, why do all these bad things happen to me? Well, I think it's time for some self-reflection, because you get back what you put out. And it's just, I can start quoting a bunch of scientists that can prove, Greg Braden and other people, quantum physics and how it works in your energy. But I don't need to. And you know why? You can look at your own life. You can look at the people you know. Look at the people that are high drama people. And what are they getting back in their life? More stuff to complain about. More drama. You look at those people who have been really rotten to people. You look at that rotten person you worked with that threw everybody under the bus. The one that he had his head up the boss's butt or ratted everybody out or whatever. And you look over time and it's not up to karma to make sure that you see it. Although we really like to, don't we? But that's not always the way it plays out. But you look back at those people and you see they end up sick. They end up miserable. They end up alone. Karma gets them in different ways. And then you look at the person that they do good without expectation. They just treat people the way that they expect to be. It's really that simple. Treat people the way that you expect to be treated, and good things will happen. That's the person that'll win the lottery. That's the person who will be willed some random thing by some random person, or is in the right place at the right time and they just get the amazing deals. Those person that we call lucky? No, that's good karma, and they deserve it all the way. So think about that. And you know what? If you've been a rotten bugger your whole life, that's okay. Make today a new day. Any day is a great day for change. If it ends in Y, it's a new day. If it ends in Y, it's a great day for change. So think about that. You are not confined to a world of misery because you've done some crappy things, but you've set up some momentum. So don't expect it to change overnight. But you know what? Change your attitude, change yourself, and change will happen. So there you go. That's your good news for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I always enjoy sharing it with you. And you make me feel good. So I hope I make you feel good too. Thanks for tuning in.